Very often I have heard about the comments on the person is not working to his full potential. Now, this can be at a school level or at a work level, but whenever I hear this comment, I always used to think about how do you define full potential? What is the full potential all about, and how does one go about achieving that? What is the help that someone requires to achieve full potential? Now, obviously, every person can achieve anything that he wants or he desires to. Uh, but the fact is that the question remains on how. How do you do that? So I have been fortunate enough uh, to spend a lot of time reading about the lives of great people, their biographies, different kinds, right from Rockefeller to Vivekananda. I have been able to work very closely with great leaders, some who have built very successful organizations, some who have uh, couldn't actually see it through till the end because the organizations could not sustain over time. And I have been fortunate enough to see many friends and relatives achieve in their own means and at the same time go through their own journey of life. Since I was in this behavioral space for a long time, I could distill 8 points from the lives of so many people and the experiences that I have had, and 8 points which would help a person achieve his full potential. The first thing in the order of importance is the first thing is do away with fear. If you have fear in your mind, you will never be able to take the opportunities that come in front of you. So depending on the nature of fear that you have, it's important for you to understand what the type of fear you have and how do you do away with it. So one of the advices which I have always been giving entrepreneurs who are starting their own and is to have enough money for their basic needs, basic necessities, and else what happens is that they are always in the trip of earning money for the next meal, and that doesn't work. Or have very limited needs. Number 2 is the inner drive, the deep inner drive to do better. And better than whom? Not others, but own benchmarks. If I feel that I have to spread this message to the whole world, then I better do that. I might have done this in a particular country scenario specific situation, but one is to take it to that level. A person who does not have inner drive or is inherently lazy, even if the world of opportunities come to that person, the individual will not be able to rise to his full potential. So this would need to have confidence, which is well placed, but not overconfidence. The third is invest time wisely. One should understand that money uh, and other capabilities one can always build, but if you try to build that uh, at the wrong time, it's of no use. So the only resource which constantly runs out is time. We have a defined lifetime here, so you have to invest your time very wisely and doing the right things and focus on the few right things. So when you invest time, it is important for you to focus on few right things at the right time. Now this focus, as you evolve, as you grow, the focus will keep changing, but it's very important to have those few things. It should not so happen that you have got a huge um, laundry list of things, then the focus will go away. Having invested time wisely, you constantly, and focusing on a few right things, the individual must constantly evolve in thought and action. Now, it's very important not to stay at the same level or the same place. Like in business, we say that you shift from a function to a cross function and to a corporate level, to a business level to a corporate level. Constantly, the individual is evolving. Similarly, in personal life, it's very important for the individual to evolve in his thought and action. And that evolution at the extreme end goes towards spirituality. But before that, there are several steps to undertake. So it's very important to be able to evolve constantly in thoughts and action. Education of the right nature is very important at this stage. Without the right education, one would not be able to evolve in thought and action. The next is to do what we call as calculated risk, have a calculated risk taking ability based on capability. This has to be based on capability. Now, calculated risk taking ability is not like, you have just invested a lot of money that you had in a particular share and expect it to go up. That's not calculated risk taking ability. That's a pretty foolish thing to do. But calculated risk taking ability is necessarily based on your ability. So if you are starting as an entrepreneur, if you want to become one of the best chefs, then you must have the ability to cook by yourself. It's not enough to invest in a business of in some other chef's business. Next is grab opportunities. I sincerely believe that you have to create your opportunities, and once these opportunities come in front of you, you have to just grab them, else they go away. And in life, everyone gets adequate opportunities. I know that, I have seen that. But people who don't do the right things or do not focus on the right few things at the right time, they start losing opportunity. So if an entrepreneur has not built up his capability and a particular opportunity arrives at that point of time, since he did not do the right thing at the right time, he would lose that opportunity, or he wouldn't be able to see the depth in that opportunity. And last but not the least is that you must be a good judge of people. You must know who to trust, who not to trust, who is the person who's going to walk along with you, who is the person who's going to ditch you. You must know that you can't be, everything evolves. So similarly, as you grow in life, as you evolve in life, the people who are supposed to be there with you, around you, guiding you, coaching you, being there with you, have to keep evolving, and they have to change. So it's not about one constant or two constant people. You got to keep on, be a good judge of people, and therefore be able to take the right people with you. So while you are on this journey of these 8 points, I would like to say that 2 or 3 things are very important, which will absolutely be there, critical for you to be able to achieve these. First is, find the right role models. Now it's not about a warrior king or a saint or someone that you, or a god. A role model is someone whose behavior you can understand, whom you can uh, analyze in depth, read a lot about him, and whose path is one where at least you would try to walk on. I know several people who have role models as Swami Vivekananda. He had chosen a very difficult path. From a royal family, he went on to become a monk, or else someone. So, choosing that path and choosing him as a role model and choosing that path is not an easy thing. So, most of the people, they will have his photos, have his portraits, but they can't ever role model him. It's not easy to do that. Renunciation is a very, very difficult to do. The next is that you must have mentors who can give you feedback, who sincerely believe in you and can give you feedback, good, bad, but you can trust them. You should have coaches who can give you the knowledge and skill as required. Now remember, as I have said, that people around you must change. So therefore the mentors, the coaches, they have to evolve, they have to change. So if you want to run for being the best, you must have a coach who has been there, who has done that. So you must evolve there as well. And last but not the least is the plain old simple recipe of sincerity and hard work. Nothing succeeds like success, and success comes to people who work hard and do all these to achieve their full potential. Now, just imagine what an organization can achieve which has 10, 12, 15, 20, 500, 1000 employees, or maybe nowadays the employee count goes to 250,000, 100,000. For such an organization, all they need to do is to work very closely and ensure that their people rise up to their full potential, and all roadblocks are cleared, and all necessary avenues for success are provided to them, to those people. So for an organization, with a lot of people, they are on a gold mine, and what they have to figure out is how to use this group resource, and if they can figure out ways through which the group resources can reach to full potential, no one can stop that organization. So my sincere advice to you is that as an individual, try to always rise to your full potential, and as an organization, you have to make things happen. So therefore ensure that you are doing the right thing, so that the group of people who are there with you, whom you call as employees or human resource, must rise to their full potential, and that is where the capability of your organization will grow by leaps and bounds over the years.